A very positive start to our time in Portugal. We'll catch you up on what's happened since the last episode as the team begins to gel. We have made a few transfers now that the transfer window has slammed shut. And even though we have done very well in the league, the time has come to see how we do against competition on a European scale. Welcome back, everyone, to episode number 122 of Bottom to the Top. I'm Mr. Cellophane. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day. They have announced our fixtures for the Champions League, and we are set to go in just a minute. Our first three are going to be at home against Galatasaray, currently at the top of the Porto Super League. Then we've got Valencia from Spain, Midtjylland also at home in October, before we finally head out on the road against Basel and Ajax. Home again against Barcelona, and then we wrap things up against Atleti de Madrid and Manchester City. We've played 4 matches in the league since we saw each other in the last episode. We started off with a very hard-fought 1-1 draw on the road in the O Clásico derby against Benfica. After that, though, things opened up for us. A home win, 3-0 over Guimarães. Daniel Zungu putting home not 1, but 2 from the penalty spot, also getting the first goal of the season from Cesar Ramos. Armando finally came back from injury in a 2-1 victory on the road against Alverca, picking up his first goal in his debut. And then we came back home with a 6-0 drubbing over Estoril Praia. Sebastian Martinez picking up his first goal of the season, along with one from Francisco Cunha, Nino Acklin. Alejandro Pintos made an appearance, scored a goal. Gökay Acar with his first goal of the year. He's had a little bit of trouble finding the back of the net, so we gave him an opportunity from the penalty spot to hopefully get him off the schneid and get him going. And Alex Van Riel with a goal in the 83rd minute to cap things off, his first of the year. We also made a couple of additional pickups to bolster our midfield, give us a little depth, some options as we move forward. First is 19-year-old Spaniard Javier Garmendia. Not sure if we talked about him in the last episode or not. 22.5 million, maybe a little bit pricey for the 19-year-old, but we do like what he brings to the table. And especially we've got a lot of youth right now in our midfield, so we're really going to try to figure out what our best combinations are moving forward. And we thought maybe it best adding a little bit more experience to the positions. We picked up Argentine international. He has capped once, scored 2 goals in his 1 appearance for his country. 24-year-old Ignacio Fernandez. We got him from the lower leagues here in Portugal. He was at Janus. Only 9 million compared to Garmendia. A bit of a bargain. He has a chance to be a star in this league. His passing ability is really what we were looking for in this role. He's highly determined. His composure is fantastic. He's got the mental attributes that we look for in a player. Bit of speed on him too. If you were a little taller, it might be a little better, but for a 5'7", 163-pound player, he's got a decent amount of strength as well. Ignacio Fernandez, this is a pickup that I like. We also send a number of youth players out on development loans, as we are wont to do, to get them a little bit more experience. Hugo Picado, however, doesn't really fit in that mold. He is out on loan for the season to Atalanta in Italy. The 25-year-old just really hadn't developed where we wanted to. We feel we have better options moving forward in some younger players. We'll probably be looking to move him on permanently at the end of the season. And one final move we decided we'd had enough of, Jorge Meza. He came back to us again complaining about his playing time, even after we had had such a nice conversation on Friday's transfer special. We were hoping that he would be our backup right wing. He saw things a little bit differently, basically forced a move on deadline day. We sold him to FC Cologne, and frankly, I guess it's fine. Honestly, Gustavo has been playing very well in that backup role, so I think we're going to be A-okay. We also do want to give an extended look at some point to 21-year-old David Pereira. Now, he got injured toward the end of last season. He's been out for, well, basically all that time. damaged cruciate ligaments, so still another maybe 3 months before he comes back. But we do have further depth options, so losing Meza was not the worst thing in the world. Even though they're at the top of the Turkish league, we are expected to win our home match in the Champions League against Galatasaray, and this is the team with which we hope to do it. It's going to be Vitek in goal with a back four of Sandro, Catal, Martinez, and Gustavo. Ignacio Fernandez is going to get the start in the midfield next to Cesar Ventura. It's going to be Zungu and Acar on the wings with Cesar Ramos and Armando up top. We are still suffering from an injury to Gonzalo Perez, so we are a little bit light at striker, even though we do have Yol Chol and Alejandro Pintos on the bench. Still don't have 100% confidence in those two. We do also have the option of playing Acar at striker. To be perfectly fair, he is very well suited for the role, and he would thrive up top. Maybe give him a chance to pick up another goal or two. But let's see what we can do. It is our first home match of the Champions League, our first match in the Champions League for this season. We are undefeated so far since we took over at FC Porto going back to last season. Let's see if we can keep that going. On the throw, and Zunga playing it up for Ramos. Back for Sandro along the near side. In the middle, Fernandez will swing it into the circle. Catal. Near side, Sandro. Back for Catal as we enjoy possession here in the middle third. Looking for our team to set up. Not really finding a lot of open passing lanes. Fernandez going wide to the right side. He's got Acar into the box. Ventura with it, carrying it deep, circling it back. Acar shoots and scores. What were we saying? All we needed to do was get him off the schneid with a penalty kick in the last match, and it would just open up opportunities for him. Just under 6 minutes into this match, he gets his second goal of the year in all competitions, beating Mendez Dejinski to his right for the 1-0 Porto lead. Aiden to get things started just a couple of minutes later. Martinez is going to deny that and clear it up for Armando. Now, we do not have a lot of numbers in support yet. Armando throwing it across, trying to pick out Acar. Martins will look to clear it. Acar almost gets it. Gustavo will play it back up for his right wing. Acar, the 21-year-old, sending it into the middle. Zungo cannot get his head on it, and Galatasaray will regain control. Elez up the midfield, almost turning it over. Lemina can't pick out his man. Catal steps in front of that one. And here comes Porto the other way. Zungu with plenty of space, moving it into the box. Zungu shooting, and Mendez Dzinski leaning to his left will make a relatively routine save when all is said and done. 1-0 Porto in other action. Bayern's beating Ajax 1-0. Burnley with a 2-1 lead in the early going. Not a great throw in there. We turn it over in our end. Lemina shooting, hitting the crossbar, but blissfully Catal able to clear it. And here we go, looking to set up the counterattack. First shot on goal of the match for Galatasaray, and it hits the woodwork. I thought we were the only team that did that. Sandro, final third throw in for Zungu, into the middle. Acar heading it on, and this time can't beat the goalkeeper. Played out behind for a corner kick, which will be delivered from the far side by Zungu. Outswinger looking near post. Otavio will handle that pretty easily. Zungu again into the middle. Ramos can't get his head on that. Cleared toward Ventura, who will leave it for Sandro as we look to get set up one more time. Definitely a nice attack we have had in this match. Just wish we could have that attack bear a little bit more fruit. Will we get another opportunity before the half is up? Galatasaray in control, though. In our third, Diaz dropping it back. Fernandez stepping in front of that pass in the middle. Ramos throwing it forward. He's got Armando behind the defense. One-on-one with the keeper. Armando shoots and scores. Goals in back-to-back contests for Armando, and we liked this pickup when we made it. Obviously, he picked up that early injury we didn't really have a training camp in the beginning of the preseason, which kept him out of action until the last match. And Armando paying dividends with his second goal of the year to give Porto our second goal of the night and a 2-0 lead heading into the second half, and a very good start to our Champions League campaign. Not as good as AEK, apparently, as they lead Shakhtar 5-0 right now. We're in 5th place on the live table, just on goal difference alone. First highlight of the second half, Galatasaray looks to control. Mendes, Dzinski up for Travaros, Urgun finding Diaz, Elez ceding a little bit of territory, moving back to go forward. Ahead for Onarun. His shot is going to go wide. Vitek doing a great job of cutting off that angle and giving the Galatasaray attacker not a lot to shoot at. Gusty, wet, 66 degrees. Don't see the rain coming down, so we can't complain about the weather in this one. And we can't complain about our position either. We are winning 2-0, 13-5, your shots on goal. We are dominating possession and generally playing well. Zungu will come off. Alex Von Riel will take his place on the left wing. Martinez also a little bit tired. Sean Smith will replace him as 2 changes are made into the lineup for Porto to see out the final 15 minutes or so of this match. In fact, we are even going to go to our new mentality, which means we should probably make another change. So Garmendia is going to come in. Ramos will go out. So we go to the 4-3-3, which, you know, we use a little bit more time. It's a little more possession-based than even our 4-2-4 has been, just to see these games out, and it seems to be working pretty well so far. The 4 minutes that were added on have expired. 2-0 your final score, and a victory to start off our Champions League campaign and to keep our unbeaten streak at Porto going. And just in case you do hear that in the background, more yard work, spring in Pennsylvania. They're doing some tree work next door. But Football Manager waits for no man. Sean Smith feeling a little unsettled because he wants a new contract. His current contract expires in just under 3 years. He's currently making 51,000 euros a week. He wants around 100 grand. Right now, he's splitting time as a backup center back / left back. And while he is a very serviceable player for us right now, unfortunately, he is not worth that. So we may need to take the opportunity to move Sean Smith along once the January transfer window opens up. He is a good player on a team with a lot of good players. So it is what it is. Now, he is going to get the opportunity to start in the league on the road at Leiria, simply because Sandro picked up an injury. He's going to be out for the next 2-3 weeks with a hamstring strain picked up in training. He's going to be one of 2 changes in the side. Smith coming in as our left back. We're going to have Alejandro Pintos give Cesar Ramos a spell, so Ramos is going to drop down to the bench. So it's going to be Vitek in goal, Smith, Catao, Martinez, and Gustavo on the back line with Fernandez and Ventura. I really liked that pairing in the last match. Zungu, Acar, Pintos, and Armando. And we're hoping those 2 draws early on in the year don't come back to bite us when all is said and done. We're currently sitting on 14 points in, 15. In 4th place, we can go as high as back to 3rd if we win this match, and we are expected to win this match because Benfica and Braga also just keep on winning. They already have won 6 matches so far. This is our game in hand on them. We are one of the later matches in the week. Heleno carrying it to the far side for Leiria. Raimundo playing it ahead for Obeng. Obeng running into a bit of traffic, finds Yarmouk. Lopez ahead, finds Facunde, who will hit the post. So he beat Vitek and played out Gustavo Ventura up the right wing to Acar. Fed forward Armando, and we were on the counterattack, and they end the highlight. That is just terrible. And a bunch of the trucks moved away. I thought we were done. And then, of course, as soon as we start the match, they really start cutting in earnest. So once again, I apologize If the sounds of the tree cutting are bleeding through, I really do try my best. Obeng has his pocket picked by Ventura, dropping it back for Smith, who will look to set up the offense. Played for Fernandez, Ignacio Fernandez over for Catal. Has a few options, playing it ahead for Ventura, who runs into traffic, and Catal will get it once again. Smith in control, up the near sideline. Zungo up for Pintos. Pintos, can he square one in the middle? He's going to go back post, find Acar, and Acar will score for the third consecutive match in all competitions. And Acar finally starting to earn his keep here at FC Porto. Comments the other day after we did the transfer window saying that Acar, we should build our team around him. Obviously, he got off to a very slow start. We weren't going to let that get in the way of our success. We weren't going to end up dropping him or second-guessing ourselves. We just knew that Acar needed a little bit of time to settle in. He's a German national who is playing in Germany. He left home. He's only 21 years old. So we're just waiting for him to hit his stride, and I think he finally has. Shango sending it forward, but Fernandez will send it back the other way. Zungo in the middle, wide right for Acar, pushing it deep. Acar into the middle. Armando shoots and hits the post. So woodwork on both sides of the pitch as Batista looking to throw it in. Zungu playing some very good defense. Ventura in control, near side for Zungu. Moving it to his right. Has a couple of players on him, but he's able to pick out Pinto. Sent into the middle. Obeng is going to intercept. Lopez with it now. Heavy touch. Unfortunately, we are unable to gain control. Payne along the near sideline. We'll spin it back to Shango. Shango ahead for Yarmuluk. Knocked off the ball. Ventura starting the counterattack. Armando to Zunga into a lot of trouble. Hits a cul-de-sac, but we are able to maintain control. Ventura for Acar. Acar centering. Has it blocked, gets it back, shoots, hits the crossbar. Zungo into the middle. His centering pass is blocked, and Laria will clear. Smith with the corner. Songo trying to clear it away, but Pintos will regain control. Back heel pass to Smith. Martinez for Fernandez. Grass cutter just wide of the near post. And an opportunity goes a-begging for Porto to make it 2-0 here late in this first half. We are up to third on the table on 17 points, assuming we hold on to this lead. 8-4, your shots on goal, 4 of them on target. Our XG is a little bit higher than our output, so we're going to need to step things up a little bit. 55% possession is the way we like to play our game. So 45 minutes left to put this one away on the road and give us 13 straight unbeaten to start our Porto career. Ball into the middle. Ventura has it knocked away from him. Ombang, Facunde, over for Lopez. Lopez running into traffic. Will drop it back for Yarmuluk. Payne in the box. Ombang with a drive from the edge of the 18 for his first goal of the year to tie things up. So it's equal at 1. Still not a loss. Obviously, we want to pick up this victory. We need to pick up this victory in order to keep pace with Braga and Benfica, because they are also doing nothing but winning. I mean, Braga does have a loss, but there are other 6 matches where victories, giving them 18 points. We have the 4 wins and the 2. This would be a third draw if things stay this way. So we will demand more from our team and even go to a more attacking mentality. I think that may work out pretty well for us. What is not working as well as we would like is our midfield pairing right now. Cesar Ventura will give way to Nino Acklin. Zungu is playing very well, but he's a little tired, so we'll give David Zambrano the opportunity to come on and make a difference in this match as 2 changes are made with about 20 minutes left to go. Acar to deliver the corner. He looks for Fernandez. Can't find it. Batista will settle it down for Laria. Play it back to Souza as they look to get it started out of their own end. Unsuccessful on the set piece, which is honestly a little rare for us. We are still massively outperforming Laria on the pitch. Unfortunately, 1-1 is still your score. Fernandez will come out. Garmendia will come in, and Armando will be replaced by Cesar Ramos, hopefully. Little change of personnel. We'll roll the dice a little bit. I mean, again, a draw on the road is not the worst thing, but these are teams that we are supposed to be beating. Can we pick it up in open play? Yes, but Garmendia turning it over, looking for his man cutting forward. Was that Ramos? I don't know, but here they are pushing it deep. Payne into the middle, and oh my God, are you serious? What kind of... This is what happens sometimes when you have a young defenseman, but this was a classic Football Manager goal. I mean, right in off the foot of Martinez. Neither he nor Vitek really tried to keep that ball out of the goal, and this is going to be embarrassing unless we can rescue a point here. Gustavo will play that for Acar. He's got Ramos, who will move it back into his own end. Gustavo with it once again. Fed forward, Acar in the middle. Ramos, give and go to Acar. Into the middle. Pinto settling it down and scoring his second goal of the year to tie things up in the 3rd minute of added time. A late equalizer. This is the way we should just be playing in general. I can't believe we gave up such a weak own goal. But to march right back up the pitch a couple of minutes later and make such a good play. I mean, Pintos and Rios were both going for the ball. Pintos settling it down while the defender overcommitted a little bit and was able to put it home. So we get the point on the road against Leiria. We should have gotten 3. And this hopefully is not the story of our season. Unbeaten in 13, but only 4 wins out of 7 to start the year. So we still sit 4th in the league table. We are 1-0 in the Champions League. We've got a big match at home against Valencia coming up. We're going to skip forward to a massive triple header in tomorrow's episode. We've got Sporting at home. We've got Midtjylland at home in the Champions League. And we have Braga on the road. There's also going to be a cup match in there, but we'll take care of that one off camera. Hope to see you tomorrow. It is going to be a doozy. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. We've got a nice number of subscriptions in the last couple of days. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you very much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.